Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. Yeah, I just wanted to report on some news that's going on in the WWE world right now, and that's the the release of the Fiend, aka Bray Wyatt. He is no longer under contract to WWE. I don't know if Tony Khan from AEW is looking at him. Possibly he is. Most likely he is. Bray Wyatt was a tremendous talent. He was one of my favorite wrestlers in the modern era. He was great with his um with his Fiend character, even though sometimes I got a little upset with the way the Fiend character was booked. Like for example, when he lost Universal Championship, go back and look in the archives to Goldberg on right before WrestleMania 36. Of course, I knew they were setting up at that time Goldberg versus Roman Reigns. It didn't happen because of the pandemic. Um, But I was upset that that was the way he lost the Universal Championship. I was also upset that the way they booked him and a Hell in a Cell 2009 um, in the match against Seth Rollins. He should have went over strong. He didn't. And also, I was upset the way they booked him this past WrestleMania when he lost to Randy Orton. So uh, I've been upset with a lot of the ways that they've booked him, but I always thought since his debut as Bray Wyatt in 2013 with the Wyatt family, I thought he was one of the best, man. That feud with Cena that he had back in 2014, around the time of WrestleMania 30, where he would where he was saying like, "You got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole wide world in his hands," and all the kids would be around him and stuff. That was great, man. Bray Wyatt was a tremendous talent. The Sister Abigail was a great move. Um, I just don't know, man. He lost that match at WrestleMania 30. He lost several matches to Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Every time it seemed like he had a chance since coming in to the company completely, especially as the Bray Wyatt character. He started in 2010 as Husky Harris, a member of the New Nexus, and he just never got a break, man. He got a break with the Bray Wyatt character. It was really over. Um, he won the WWE Championship in 2017, and he also won the Universal Championship. But each time he had the championships, it just seemed like the company was never really behind him. He had some personal issues going on where he had cheated on his wife and left her for the ring announcer JoJo, and now he's with JoJo. And then his dad was let go in 2020 as part of the purge. His dad, of course, is um, IRS, Mike Rotundo, and of course his uncle is famous in the business, Barry Windham. His grandfather, Black Jack Mulligan, a very famous tag team in the WWE world. So I thought, they would never let Bray go. But Eric Rowan is in AEW now. Luke Harper, before he passed away, was in AEW now. Braun Strowman, who came in as a member of the Wyatt family, even though he had a lot of feuds with Bray, he's no longer there. So maybe it's true. Maybe it's time for Bray to move on to a different company, a different look. Maybe Tony Khan can do something with him that Vince McMahon could not do. But I say the hell with Vince McMahon because I feel like Bray Wyatt has so much potential on the heels of wrestling. I had stopped watching wrestling for a while. Guys from I always do this, so I stopped watching um, for some time. And one of the times when I stopped watching was right before WrestleMania right before WrestleMania 30. So all the newer guys and gals that I got exposed to in WrestleMania 30, some of them I really liked, and one of them was Bray Wyatt. And even though he lost the match to Cena that night, it was like I felt like this guy could be the next big star. You know what I mean? He had a tremendous merchandise with the goat head and everything. I felt like he had a lot of potential. But he just kept losing and losing. And then when he came out with the Fiend character in summer of 2019, I'm like, all right, this is a combination of Mankind, Kane, and Undertaker. They can't go wrong with this. 5-5 Funhouse match was a memorable match the following year. Even though he didn't have the title, which he should have, like I said, he was very upset with that one. Was that one crown jewel? It was one of the Saudi Arabia shows where it was him and Goldberg. And Goldberg beats him for the Universal, and, and he goes on to face Cena. But the Cena match wasn't very memorable. The Cena match at WrestleMania 36 was very memorable, just like the Cena match at WrestleMania 30. So I'm like, all right, he's back on his heels. He gets Alexa Bliss in his corner later on that year, and it seemed like Alexa Bliss steals his gimmick. She's doing the gimmick now with the Lily and the supernatural stuff, the stuff he was doing. So he has no purpose in the company. Anyway, goodbye to Bray Wyatt. You'll be sorely missed in WWE, and I'm gonna check you out in AEW. Uh, he got the whole world in his hands. He got the little bitty babies. Yeah, Bray Wyatt is gone. He'll probably be in AEW. Probably you'll probably see him in AEW. Um, if you if you watch AEW Phantasma, I'm not sure. Yeah, we all do. We all do. We all do. They dropped the ball with Bray Wyatt. They dropped the ball with my boy Bray Wyatt. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, good. Everybody good is going over to AEW now. Like I said, Eric Harper's in it. Eric Harper, Eric Rowan rather is in AEW. Luke Harper, before he died, he was in AEW. And Aleister Black is in AEW. Andrade's in AEW. And now Bray Wyatt's going to be in AEW. Could you guys imagine when Bray Wyatt goes to AEW, Bray Wyatt showing up on Dynamite, and he confronts Sting? He confronts Sting. The one thing we wanted them to do in WWE back in the day in 2014 was have the Wyatt family and Sting. And Bray Wyatt versus Sting. He goes up, tries to go up against Darby Allin, right? And then he's fighting Darby Allin, and then Sting comes out. And you can hear like Tony Schiavone, it's Sting! Yep. It's going to be fun to see Bray take on some new challengers. They didn't really have nobody from the face in WWE anyway. They're just too focused on the older stars like Goldberg and John Cena. So, I mean, I feel, Right, right. Phantasma is right. Uh, they're gonna have another fiend. That would be super corny. They tried that shit years ago with Kane. They tried that. Remember the May 19th whole May 19th hype when Festus, Carl Anderson, I think it was either Carl Anderson or Luke Hart, but one of them came out as as the fake Kane, and that shit was corny. Same thing with Undertaker. They tried to do that with Undertaker in 1994. Chains from DOA came out as the fake Undertaker. The fake Razor Ramon, the late Rick Wagner, the fake Diesel. They always try to replace people. People are the Fiend is irreplaceable. Yes, it's a mask, right? But so what? We know that it's the same moves that Bray Wyatt, uh, Bray Wyatt does. You know what I mean? So if we watching WWE on one channel and we see Bray Wyatt on another channel, and they come out with a fake fiend, people that would just make people laugh at WWE even more. It'd be like, click, I'm not watching this shit. You know, like Vince McMahon thinks there's a press release that came out that said Vince McMahon uh doesn't think Vince McMahon don't think that AEW is competition. Well, he better start thinking it because they got everybody. They got Braun Strowman. They're gonna have Bray Wyatt. They're gonna have Punk. They're gonna have Bryan. They got Aleister Black. They got Andrade. They got everybody. Everybody that's good. Pretty soon they're gonna have them all. You know what I mean? They're keeping Sasha Banks there because they gave her another run with the SmackDown Women's Championship. Uh, so they're trying to as much as they can to keep her there. But AEW is getting everybody, man. AEW is getting all the big stars. All the big stars are jumping off the ship that is WWE, the Titanic. And Vince McMahon's getting nobody. Nobody from AEW. He's not getting the Young Bucks. He's not getting Darby Allin. He's not getting uh, none of these Orange Cassidy, none of these. Yeah. He's not getting none of these other AEW I mean AEW stars. Oh wow, you're going naked for AEW? Well, okay, I mean, that's cool, man. People put out their people put out their dicks for Harambe, so why not go naked for AEW, right? I'm sure Tony Khan will appreciate it. and Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega. I don't know about the Young Bucks, maybe so. I mean, and if you're a guy, they always got Thunder Rosa. You know, Thunder Rosa is somebody you can go naked for. Yeah. So anyway, finishing the song. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the itty bitty babies in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got an AEW contract in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Peace. Love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell button.